But some of the stuff I was reading over the weekend was almost laughable, saying that Arkansas would no longer be able to recruit good jobs because AEDC suffered a $100,000 cut. I mean, things like that are ridiculous to me, and I think indicate that they're not taking this proposal very seriously, and they're going to try to politicize it on a level that I was hopeful it wouldn't reach. There's ways to save money. If agency directors aren't going to do their job, then we will. But that's what they're paid to do. And again, I point to the governor saying that that's the way he.
You know, the response you've been getting from the governor, from Kathy Webb, from the speaker, is that this is arbitrary. This 3% number. How is it not arbitrary if you don't have those specific ideas?
Well, I said yesterday, I think 0 is the most arbitrary number there is. State agencies don't need a little bit more. They can't do it a little bit less. They have exactly the amount they need. If we're talking arbitrary numbers, 0 is, I think, by definition, the most arbitrary number in this budgeting process. Through looking at things like turn back, previous fiscal year's funding levels, but then also personal experience of working with agencies. We identified these agencies that we think can do a better job of managing money and do it with less. And again, even if for no other reason, number one, that should be the goal, to spend the tax dollars effectively. But number two, because if there's just no possible way to save $21 million this year, how in the world in 10 months are we going to come up with $270 million on Medicaid, probably at minimum another $50 on adequacy, and that's just right out of the gate. We're talking probably $320 million in need in 10 months, and it's absolutely impossible to find $21 million in savings today. If that's the case, then we are in bad shape, but I think it's reasonable to ask.
You mentioned that you think agency directors are not taking this seriously. Do you think Governor Beebe's not taking this seriously?
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, we had a very good meeting with the governor. I tried to tell him honestly, my perspective on why I thought some of these were necessary, and I think he listened. We had a good conversation. I just think it's natural. Things are the way they are for a reason, and that's because a lot of times when you start talking about budgets and you don't hear from the people that are necessarily paying the taxes, you hear from the people that are receiving them. And I think that's kind of what's happened here. But I think the governor's taking it seriously, but I don't know what his response will be tomorrow.
But you think the agency directors are exaggerating the
Oh, absolutely. It's laughable, their response. Absolutely laughable. And again, I wish they would take the process more seriously, because in 10 months, and really less than, they'll start preparing budgets in 4 months. Probably 5 months, but either way, in 10 months, we're going to be sitting here talking about hundreds of millions of dollars in shortfall and obligation that we have. It's not going to be fun, and I wish that they would take this process more seriously, because when we get there, it's going to have major consequences, because we're not taking the process seriously now.
Any directors in particular you think are not taking, specifically not taking this seriously?
I haven't seen one serious response yet.